In touch.
Testing.
Have you got us?
Fellas, I'm just going to ask you to be touch judges. Just show me where it's at, and then somewhere where they're facing you and not me. But other than that, I won't ask you to get involved. And someone is talking in a minute. All right. Put it not on. Don't do because then you will never play. From me. You guys can play. Thanks for helping. By the way, this is going to be...
Hello and welcome to the very first live stream for NextGen15 of the 2020-21 season. It's been a long old wait, over 400 days since the last time we brought you a live stream. A lot has changed since then. Lots and lots of differences. We're all socially distant and hoping to get underway. We've got Epsom College against Whitgift today, two absolute giants of the school game. Should be an absolute cracker. We're looking forward to some brilliant rugby, and we're going to run you through the teams very, very shortly. So I'm Angus Savage, part of NextGen15. Used to be 15 Rugby. We've combined our forces to create a new global schoolboy rugby force, and this is our very first game, coming to you live here from Epsom College. I'm here today joined by Alex Bahaja, who works for Epsom College, skills coach, I believe. Is that correct, Alex?
I work with the backs and work with Paul Beck on a Tuesday, Thursday with the boys and the first team, and yeah, it's been really exciting to work with the guys over the course of the past couple of years and see them progress through to today. Obviously today, you know, with these adapted rules that we're going to be seeing, it's going to be quite interesting to see how the guys get on with them. Going to be quite a fast-paced style of rugby, I think, that we're going to be able to see. Speaking to the referee beforehand, he's quite keen to give the boys a bit of a breather at the free kick for the scrum. So it'll be quite interesting to see how the guys adapt to those little adaptations and challenges that we see.
And to run through those adapted rules, you can tell me if I've got them wrong. You've been working in them far more detail than me, but it's no scrums, no mauls, but we do have a line out. You've just got to go straight off the top, and in place of a scrum, we just go for a quick free kick, although hopefully not too quick.
That's right, correct.
So we're just going to quickly run through the teams before we kick off. At fullback for Epsom College, we have Henry Dalton. On the right wing, Josh King. Outside centre, Josh Lyon. 12, Bryn Bradley, vice-captain. He's one to watch. Captain at fly half, Tom Liner. famous surname. You may have seen his brother and his father play plenty. He'll be captaining the side today. At scrum half, we have Max Franks. At loose head, Ollie Matthews, the other vice-captain. Hooker, Jamie York. Tight head prop, Zach O'Connor. In the second row, Ross Thurtrell and Nikolai Marinov. 6, Tarek Alican. 7, Jude Clark. And 8, Cade Bird. And we'll give you the Whitgift team in just a second as kick-off has happened.
A lovely clearance kick from Bryn Bradley there. Yeah, as Angus said, he's definitely one to watch. So Bryn is lucky enough to have signed himself with a Quins full-time contract coming for this next season. So exciting talent there at inside centre, and as you can see, he's a big unit. So it'll be exciting to see a bit of a clash between him and Whitgift's inside centre.
I remember seeing Bryn play against Wellington College last year, or 2019. Who knows what year it is these days, but I remember having a really strong game in that Champions Trophy semi-final.
Yeah, he really carried the ball hard in that game and put us on the front foot. So strong press by Epsom, led by Captain Tom Lynham, mercurial talent. Again, nice heavy contact by Josh Lyon, to dominant tackle by Josh, joining us in lower 6 this year. So it's exciting to see him put on the shirt for the first time for Epsom.
Really noticeable those first couple of phases, real physicality in defence. You can tell the boys have missed it.
And the pace in defence and attack here, yeah, they just want to get their hands on the ball.
Just while we have a quick pause to this line out, then I'll quickly run through the Whitgift team. At fullback, Matthias Nudelman. 14, Edward Miller. Outside centre, Jamie Flatley. 12, Struan Fotheringham. 11, Sebastian Pilkington. Up front, in loose head, Suri Rana. Hooker, Hayden Rees. Tight head, Pierre Loic Beniak. In the second row, Connor Manzi and Max Hubrick. And in the back row, Omari Malcolm, Seb Driscoll and Reese Norman. Halfbacks, sorry I missed those off, Jake Murray and Edward Volley. So
we had Cade Bird, number 8, again a new addition to school this year, joining in lower 6 within the London Irish Academy. He's one to watch definitely as well. Carrying the ball, trying to get us onto the front foot. Just a small little knock on there. So it's over to this first scrum tap free kick that we see. Again, the boys press up and. Looks like Bryn trying to go through the contact zone, and Epsom win a penalty, so putting us on the front foot. Bryn Bradley's taking that quickly, little nudge through. Good chase by Epsom, spilt by Whitgift.
Knocked on, play the hit of the ball.
I was going to say it's perhaps a bit unfortunate that it's a wet and greasy day today. First game back, we'd be hoping for a bit of sunshine and a dry ball, but actually that slippery ball there creating a load of excitement, almost a try there for Epsom.
Mayhem. So here a quick tap from Max Franks. Ollie Matthews carries the ball hard. Ollie playing it tight head for us. Vice captain carrying the ball well. Ross Thurtle representing Propert House today. Max again, quick feed from the base of the ruck. We've got a little bit of an overlap on the left-hand side here if we can recycle the ball. And it's another penalty to Epsom for offside at the base of the ruck.
No, hold down.
Noticeable to me early on, Epsom physically are seeming to be quite dominant at the moment. Perhaps just a bit of momentum, perhaps a bit of excitement, but they certainly seem physically very, very ready.
I'd like to, on that, I'd like to name check our head of strength and conditioning, Matt Jackson, who's worked tirelessly with the boys over the past 12, 18 months to get them in a really peak physical condition. You know, bearing in mind, obviously, we've had lockdown. The boys work extremely hard at home, and a lot of them have given me a few facts that they've been working out at home, building gyms, doing lots of running and lifting weights. So I like to agree with you, Angus. I'm glad that you spotted that. So well done to Matt Jackson for putting time and effort into that, and the boys working hard. Carry here from Cade Bird. Ball presentation needs to work a little hard on the floor there. Looks like a pick and go from Nikolai Marinov at the base of the ruck. Again, a carry by Zach O'Connor there. And unfortunately just holding on to the ball in the ruck there. Just didn't quite get his body angle right, and it's a penalty to Whitgift. That opportunity to relieve the pressure.
Seb Driscoll on the floor there for Whitgift. Excellent turnover. Something that's always a key aspect of Whitgift's play, actually, is their ability on the deck. Forward pack has always been very strong, directed by Chris Wilkins.
The accuracy in that turnover was nice to watch as well. So Whitgift have kicked themselves up to the 10-metre line in their own half.
Close the gap a little bit for me. Lovely, that's perfect. Keep the gap at the back.
Ross Turtle up at the front to steal the ball, carried by Ollie Matthews.
Get on side, move!
So, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a unfortunate clash there. Nikolai seems to have just dropped into the tackle slightly, and a seatbelt tackle, I think, from the referee for a penalty there.
Well, it's something I wanted to ask you about, actually, because obviously high tackles are being penalised more aggressively the last time the boys ran out, but actually quite a lot has changed even in this sort of year's absence. And is that something that you're having to coach a lot more, just in terms of technique and in terms of understanding body angles and timing, and sometimes saying, don't make the tackle because you're going to get in trouble?
Yeah, so within our training sessions, Paul Burke and Simon Watling and I we work on the accuracy of those decision makings, the speed of that decision making, and at times, obviously, yeah, that does take into account, step out and avoid creating the foul, so that obviously. You can get yourself in a bit of better position, or have support from a teammate to actually step in and make that, even if we've lost a couple of yards. I mean, obviously we want to front up and try and make a dominant hit. We can do, and try and put pressure on that way. But the accuracy of that is really important. Obviously, with the referees penalising that, the letter of the law.
Yeah, I mean, it must be a really difficult area to coach. I mean. Even guys as young as these, they've been doing it all their life. That you have a certain amount of ingrained technique that you need to adapt to. Turnover there from Whitgift. Good time to get it, because that was a stunning kick from Liner to get from halfway into the 5 metre.
And, a nice pass out from fly. That's Ed Volley at fly half. Trying to get them onto the front foot.
Let's come off his arm forward.
Little knock on there by Whitgift, so it's going to be a scrum free kick to Epsom. So it'll be interesting to see whether we're able to utilise one of our starter plays here to generate a little bit of momentum and put ourselves into a good position here. Max Frank's over the ball. Lower 6 with orange boots, plays for Cobham outside of school. Boys have overrun that there, creating a distraction for the defence. Ollie Matthews carries hard, offloads.
Hands away! Hands away!
Again, Ollie continues to carry hard. Met well by Whitgift's defence here. Bryn Bradley tries to show off 3 men. He'll keep doing that all game.
The old dummy kick. No one ever bought that.
No one bought that one. Go sideways a little bit here, and Whitgift's pressure's meant that they've won the turnover.
Knock on advantage. Yes, boys. Hands away. 10, stop, 10, what? Come back for the knock on advantage. Let's not jump the gun there, fella. Going to be scrum free kick. Knocked on, no advantage.
Impressive line speed from Epsom there. You could tell as Whitgift tried to clear that, they were under all sorts of pressure. They did get it away, and they of course have the free kick, I presume, for a knock on, but they under a lot of pressure there in their own 22.
There we go.
Now I'm just having a look at this pitch. Is there a slight slope? Whitgift playing the right way at the moment, I think,
there's a little bit of a slope, and drops down to that left-hand corner slightly. The grounds team have done an amazing job here to get the pitch into this beautiful condition that we see today.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I've been getting messages from them on social media all week. Absolutely stunning scenes from the ground stuff.
Stunning scenes. And Jason and his team have done a superb job, and he's been very proud in putting it out on Twitter, and it's been really.
At Epsom grounds for those that want to check it out. For all you grass lovers out there.
Whitgift won themselves a penalty here, just inside Epsom's 10-metre line, and shot at the sticks.
Interesting choice there from Whitgift. In theory, it should be a simple enough 3 points. I saw him practicing. He's got the range, but temptation for me might have been to take advantage of that left-hand corner where it's in a bit of a well. It looks like it'd be a bit difficult to get out of. Stick the ball in there. Even if you don't win the ball back, it's going to be difficult to get out of there as a defending side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scrum cap off, Ella Lee Halfpenny.
Nope. 22.
Kick just slides wide there from volley. 0-0.
Fellas, just make sure we're behind the kicker.
We can't wait 420 days and have a 0-0, surely. Come on, lads, have some tries.
Make sure your fellas are behind you, okay?
It's early yet. It's early yet. We're only 10 minutes in.
So Tom Liner with the ball. Drop kick out from the 22. Collect by Whitgift. They're going to look to attack back at pace. Low tackle by Tarek Alakan.
Sorry.
Whitgift running onto the ball now at pace, and Epsom under a little bit of pressure.
Advantage,
Again, looks like another seatbelt style tackle there by Epsom. And, penalty advantage to Whitgift.
Still playing penalty advantage, fellas. That's done. The ball's there.
Noticeable attacking structure here from Whitgift, actually, using their back row as their one-out carriers, getting the tighter forwards to do the clearing up work.
Release! No more! Release!
Yeah, it looks like they're keeping the ball tight around the break down here, trying to shorten Epsom up.
Okay. Still playing penalty advantage.
Bulls work really hard at trying to get the boys to number off and get the spacing right in defence. So hopefully, we'll demonstrated there that got that one right under the pressure.
Yeah, it's a solid defensive set. That, I mean, I know it ends in a penalty for the seatbelt tackle, but I almost think that's the sort of thing that can be in many ways kind of glossed over. The structure and the commitment was all there. It's just these sort of tackles happen sometimes. It's not a lot you can really do about it sometimes.
Lovely. Line out. There you go.
Worth pointing out for those unfamiliar, because we've all spent the last year watching professional rugby because it's the only thing we can watch. At schoolboy level, there's no such thing as concussion protocol, blah blah blah. You just, if there's any sort of doubt, you get pulled off. So actually, at schoolboy level, we're not looking for any HIAs or anything. You're just getting wheeled straight off if there's any sort of sign of any kind of a head knock. So a lot of the protocols are very different. I'm sure all of you listening know that, but just in case, it's been a long year.
It's been a long year, and it's great to get back to actually having some rugby on our pitches. Who'd have thought that 13 months ago we'd be playing rugby in almost in May?
It's hard to believe, isn't it? And bizarrely, we've turned up on the only day so far that feels like mid-November.
Torrential downpour for half an hour before kick-off. Obviously the pictures don't show that now, so that.
I'm sure I was sat outside a pub in the sunshine a week ago. I don't know what's happened.
Slight knock on there by Whitgift as Ed's turned to catch the ball, and Ollie Matthews straight onto it. Quick catch pass by Tom Liner. Bryn Bradley with a little chip on. Knock forward, kick forward by Louis Russell. He's tried again.
Off the ball, taking off the ball.
Well covered across by Whitgift there.
Lovely bit of play there from Louis Russell, and let's take a bit of time to focus in on him, because that was a lovely bit of footwork there, playing on the left wing today. And tell us a bit about him.
So yeah, Louis is a very balanced athlete, very capable athlete. He's currently in lower six. He joined us in year 9 from Chinthurst School, which is just down the road. One of Louis' his rugby idols is Jason Robinson, so hoping to see a few footwork treats out there if we can from Louis to replicate his idol today.
Fine. Now you've piqued my interest.
Nice little transfer of the ball from the top of the line out. Cade Bird picks up, runs hard at the 10. Max, and then we've got Max Franks trying to get the boys working quickly around the corner. Again, still the same. He's hammering them around the corner there.
I'm standing still, all right, so I can't go anywhere.
Oh, it's unlucky there. Just a bit of indecision about which option to take, and they end up taking the option that's got the referee in between them.
Throwing the ball to the referee, throwing to Duncan Butler Wheelhouse today, who's our South African. He's one of the London Society's referees, and I do really enjoy their pink shirts when they put them on.
They certainly stand out from the crowd, don't they? You shouldn't be passing to them. You should be spotting that.
Okay, the mark is here. Free kick.
Free kick to Epsom. Short pop to Cade Bird, who carries, presents the ball well. Whitgift latch onto that, and it is a turnover. Great defence from Whitgift there.
Number 8.
So the real theme of the game actually so far is that Epsom get themselves into some really promising positions, playing with good amount of width, but also some real power. But Whitgift on the floor just proving really, really adept.
When you're out of the field, don't hold on to the ball.
Just at the moment, we're just possibly running in ones or twos just when we get into the danger zone, and the boys getting isolated. Tom Lynham, fantastic footwork and handling to just stop the ball from going out of play there, and then gets himself into a great body shape to present the ball quickly. Ollie Matthews, vice captain, carries hard with those blonde locks flowing. Ran slightly upright. I think that's
Gone backwards, that's backwards.
Damien York's gone slightly upright in the tackle there, and Whitgift knocked him back. Quick catch pass, Henry Dalton, first team footballer, first team cricket player there. Epsom on the front foot. Max Franks working the ball nice and quickly to the boys. Jude Clark carrying the ball well. He's not played rugby for 2 years, having suffered an injury during year 10, so second year into Epsom. So he's itching for the ball in his hands.
2 years no rugby. That was the carry of a man who wanted to say something, wasn't it?
Jude's a phenomenal athlete. He's absolutely electric, but he's also incredibly strong. And he's actually had the most tries scored in year 9 and in year 10 for an Epsom team. So it's really exciting to see him back. And I know Granville House will be cheering for him later on when they get to watch the footage.
I know it's tough. We're all adjusting to that. But as players, we've got to make sure
mid-half water break by the looks of things. Everyone with their own water bottle, etc.
All numbered water bottles. We've got tape around the top of them. We've got our brilliant GAP students who've been assisting. So we've got 2 of them running the touches today in the lovely green tops. So we've got Brad and Will here. Obviously making sure that our COVID protocol is being followed by preparing the water bottles effectively. Such
are the times we live in. Well, we might as well, since we've got a chance, to just reflect a bit on that opening quarter of the game. And certainly from my perspective, that felt like a very Epsom dominated in terms of territory and possession, kind of a half or a quarter, sorry. But Whitgift, when it counted on their own try line 2 or 3 times, getting crucial turnovers. Whitgift actually with the closest opportunity to scoring anything when they went for a long range shot at goal, but sadly just drifted wide from their perspective. So we're 0-0, quarter of the game through, hoping for tries. We've seen sparks of some attacking talent. I thought we've had a lovely break from Louis Russell, and Henry Dalton at fullback with some nice footwork. And I want to take a bit of time here while we have it, just to talk about Tom Lynham. Obviously he's the captain, and we all know about his father, a World Cup winner with Australia, and his brother now doing things with Harlequins. But Tom, of course, signed a contract for back in January or so with the Queensland Reds down in Australia. So clearly, as we all know, plenty of promise from the young man.
Yeah, and he's an incredibly polite, well-liked role model in school. He's going to be a great addition to any academy side going forward, and he is, as I said earlier, is a mercurial talent. He's got incredible balance. His catch pass is second to none, and his range of kicking is probably is something to get really excited about as well. Just putting Epsom into the corner there. His interestingly, one of his idols is Dan Carter, and he says that that's somebody that he's watched a lot of footage of and try to replicate some of the things that he does. And he comes out early for training, stays after training, gets all his kicking reps in, and he'll be out there trying to jeer the boys on and get them through this in the next 17 minutes to put us on the front foot if he can.
Turnover there from Whitgift, but just to continue that line of conversation, I mean, we've seen two things today that have really impressed me with him. We were talking about something else at the time, but his kick from the halfway line to punch it into the corner was just outstanding. And a lovely bit of skill to receive a kick right on the touchline as well. Very, very small things in terms of the overall game, but they just give you a picture of the skills he has available to him.
I think he's got a long way to go as well. I mean, he'll say himself he's not the finished product just yet, and he's going to be quite exciting to see how he goes with Queensland going to Australia and seeing the part of the progress that he makes. Epsom carrying the ball to the right hand corner, so making waves to the 5 metre to Whitgift's 5 metre line. Tom's dropped back into a little bit of a pocket there. Louis Russell running onto the ball, but unfortunately he's offside just in front of the kick.
Just got their timing wrong there, but Ollie Matthews at loose head there with what I call the props shout. I want the ball, give me the ball, I'm running that line, you better give it to me.
He wants the ball. Whenever we run shape, he's always in the mix. He always wants to be on the ball, carrying hard. Tight angle here to clear down. Unfortunately, Ed volleyed from Whitgift, just missed touch. Tom running back, counter attack. Looked shaped up to kick. Looked for an offload off the floor. Possibly could have held onto that and just presented and set up a base for Epsom. Whitgift have just knocked it on there on the floor actually. Max Frank's digging hard. Little nudge over the top, puts Whitgift's full-back under pressure, and a little bit of a spill there.
I think we're just seeing there in that passage a bit of the expected ring rustiness. People not quite making the right decisions, then you get a couple of errors, and then suddenly you just get into that pattern of a couple of errors. So hopefully here with a starter play, we can get things moving again.
Berg carries harder into contact.
Theme of the game, I'd say.
Yes, absolutely. He doesn't shy away from contact. Josh Lyon trying to get a little offload away there. Two Whitgift players trying to tackle him, so it just gave the opportunity to get an edge, and just didn't quite execute with the offload, but the intention was great.
Matthias Noodleman there at fullback for Whitgift, putting his body on the line, and worth noting that another Whitgift fullback, Connor Slevin, absent today because he was starting for Harlequins A in a friendly match earlier this week. So he's a real talent to look out for, and he'll be familiar to many of the Epsom College players as well.
He's an incredible talent. It's a shame that he's not able to represent Whitgift today, but great news for him playing in that A game. So we just had a dummy from the base of the ruck from the Whitgift scrum half there just before he executed the box kick. So it's a free kick to Epsom now.
I feel for Jake Murray on the floor there, but I love that call. There's nothing worse than scrum half spending 25 minutes at the back of a ruck, dummying away, and it's so rarely called. Good bit of refereeing that. Tough on Jake Murray because he's probably done that 1,000 times and never been penalised, but I like to see that.
Come back to Weehars in a great position there to make that decision. Ball just slipped out of Max Frank's hands there as he was trying to execute the pass to Tom, which gave Whitgift the opportunity to press up hard. The adrenaline pumping in the boys now at this moment must be high levels.
You can really see it. There's an appetite, particularly amongst the forward packs, I suppose, unsurprisingly, but a real appetite on both sides to carry. Clearly, the absence of contact has been felt.
We've had training sessions where we put the with COVID safe. We've put them in their contact suits for the whole session and try to get them running through contact, holding each other, trying to simulate as much as possible. Obviously the situations that are going to experience today, but yeah, very difficult to actually replicate that with the current, obviously previous protocols and having those periods of lockdown as well, interrupting progress. Great offload from Whitgift there. They've gone through on the front foot, broken into Epsom's 5 metre onto the 5 metre line.
Wonderful running from the Whitgift scrum half, Jake Murray there. Dodging and diving right up to the try line, but not quite, but they're going to come back for the penalty by the look of things. Possibly not a bad penalty to give away from Epsom's point of view, because it looked as though the try was coming there. They can organise themselves, but brilliant bit of play there from Jake Murray.
Yeah, he looks like quite a talent actually. He's quite electric, strong, good centre, good base, and causing us a little bit of trouble at the moment. Low shots from Epsom there to halt the progress from Whitgift. Let's see here how we number off in defence. Oh, pass has just died on the outside centre there.
We were inches away there from one of the most skillful things I've ever seen. Whitgift have rolled through a few subs here. That was always the plan for them. They were saying that each quarter they're going to really turn over the playing staff here. Looks as though Epsom College have kept things pretty stable. They'll probably make a few changes, sort of more towards half time, I suspect. Wow.
Great touch point there from Tom. Execution perfect.
I think we've just seen what Queensland Red signed there. That was quite special as a clearance kick goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. He's been practicing the George Ford spiral bomb over the past 2 weeks or so. So Paul Burke's been giving him a few pointers on that. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to pull that one out of the bag today.
Well, if there's a man to learn from in terms of the boot, Paul Burke is not a bad man.
We're all getting used to this.
Yeah, it's enjoyable to watch Paul in training. He's always raring to go. He's always raring to step in at 10 and show the boys how it's done. He said that the hamstrings might go a little bit easier than they used to, so occasionally we have to rein him in a little bit. Jamie York, nice, good defence there by Jamie York at the first goal position, and it led to a penalty for Epsom just inside the 10 metre.
Just put the ball down. It's going to be a penalty. Let's make sure this kid's okay.
We touched on him earlier then, but let's talk a little bit more about Ollie Matthews, vice captain, loose head prop, carrying machine as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Ollie joined us in lower 6 from Whitgift School. I know Ollie quite well. I teach him A-level P, and he's a very polite, very caring young man. He's the ultimate professional, competitive in training. Turns it on with a switch when he comes out. Ollie was part of Harlequin's under-18s academy and played a prop for them and he's a useful addition to the team when he came in lower six. He represented us when we played against Wellington last year and did a great job in that game as well, and also played in our Surrey Sevens sides when we beat Cranley in that awesome competition.
The last schoolboy rugby that anyone could remember, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's right. And to obviously have won that tournament back to back was pretty
stunning achievement. Just while we were chatting there, an interesting conversation between the referee and the Epsom flankers as Tom Liner lines up a pointer. He's telling them that he wants to see them making sure that they have a clear release and they're attacking the ball. Slightly wayward connection there from Liner, possibly on the edge of his range, I suspect.
He'll be unhappy about that. We've seen him hit them from there. He trains from there. He just didn't quite connect with that cleanly.
But you'll have seen, I'm sure, watching during the Six Nations, referees very keen to make players aware that you have to be making a genuine attempt to steal the ball. It's no longer good enough just to have your hands on it and be asking someone to move you out of the way. And that was really what he was just trying to get across there, was make it clear that you're trying to steal it and I will reward you with the penalty.
Another little bit of an error from Tom there. He's wound up to hit that with a spiral to beyond halfway and just came off the right of the foot slightly. So a bit disappointed just at this minute in time. Two little errors in a short space of time. So we'll just see how he reacts in the next couple of minutes. It'll be quite interesting.
Well, it's always the risk with the spiral, isn't it? It's a high reward, high risk kind of a play. We actually, during lockdown, we spoke to Johnny Wilkinson's old kicking coach, Dave Allred, about this, and he was telling us about a story with Joe Schmidt, where when he was Ireland coach, where if they were kicking down the right-hand side, he'd encourage the spiral, because at least if it went wrong, it went out. And on the left-hand side, he wanted end over end.
Whitgift trying to shorten Epsom up with the pick and go routines here.
It's been the pattern of the Whitgift game when they've got the ball, hasn't it? Keeping it tight, sort of attacking that 9-10 channel.
Double shot there from Tom Liner and Dew Clark. Ball's just been kicked forward and Tom's after it. Epsom, if we organise a chase here now, then we'll be in a good position to counter-attack if they do go for a kick clearance. Bryn Bradley trying to make himself a nuisance there.
He's a big man to shift, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, weighing in at 102 kilos or more, he's a big man to shift. He's also incredibly fast, so you won't find me standing opposite him.
I have heard, though, from superstar winger Kitan Oj that some of these body weights are suspicious at best.
Kitan's been the fact checker for me, so yeah, it was nice to hear his input into the boys potentially giving us a few false figures here.
These boys bumping up their weights. They didn't realise we were going to have the inside track.
It's a shame. It is a shame that Kitan is not able to be playing today, as he is another exceptional rugby player, athlete, and all-round good egg, really.
Yeah, friendly chat. We had a 2-minute conversation with him before we started. Very friendly chap, and I remember well from the Wellington College game to hark back to that one again in the Champions Trophy 2019. Absolutely fantastic in that, and it's just such a shame we've not been able to see him, a year down the line, more developed, more rugby understanding, just to see him go, because fantastic talent.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Kitan, he actually had an Achilles injury just in the first period of lockdown, so that was it's been a long way back for him to come back from that. He's back to close to full fitness now, so hopefully within our next couple of fixtures that we've got with Hampton, maybe in a couple of weeks, and then there's talk of a four-way tournament with a few other schools, and it'd be really cool if we can get him out on the field and to represent the college again.
Well, speaking of that Hampton game, it's worth me mentioning that we will be live streaming, and by live streaming I mean live streaming both schools. Everyone's involved. Everyone's going to see it. Epsom College versus Hampton, 2 weeks' time. It's going to be a fantastic game.
Off the top from Nikolai Marinov there, to Max Franks, and Tom's just drawn two of the defenders and offloaded a Bryn who's carried hard, putting Epsom onto the front foot. Ollie Matthews just tried to force the offload there, probably didn't need to do that, and it's just given the ball away to Whitgift to punch it clear. Looks like we've got a penalty for offside from Epsom.
Number 7 white offside.
Discipline, lads.
Mr. Burke, he's
Clear instruction for the sideline. Look after the pill. That's the sort of insight that we get to bring you from this spot. What the coaches are saying and everything.
Make it really clear from here, okay?
all of that experience from his time with Harlequins, Munster, Leicester, Bristol. He's represented a vast number of clubs in his 13 caps for Ireland, so he's a great man to coach with and for the boys to learn from, and it's a real privilege for them to have him as their director of rugby. Quick hands there, as he's spoken earlier, from Tom Liner.
That's unlucky there, because that was a lovely bit of handling there from Tom Liner, wasn't it? So always the excitement of knowing they were away just sort of slightly took their eye off the ball there just as they were about to break clear.
The speed of pass that he has is phenomenal, and Bryn and Tom obviously on the same wavelength, both working through the Harlequins Academy setup together, so they've been playing with each other for a very long time alongside a number of other boys.
Well, Bryn, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I'm sure I sort of saw that Bryn was a relatively late addition to Harlequins Academy. Almost stunning, really, because every time I've seen him play, he's been absolutely fantastic. A player that almost should have been there right from the early days, but really great for him that he got picked up.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really great for him. And now having, unfortunately, that due to COVID, but having represented Wales under 18s within the 2020 Six Nations squad, that was a great achievement for him. And obviously his brother having played at Hampton School as well, so he's got some rugby pedigree.
Number 1 blue.
Yeah, not a bad rugby family. But plenty of Epsom College, Hampton links, brotherly links there.
2.5 minutes.
Been seeing some really powerful carrying from both sides today. Sort of symptomatic of the scoreline, I suppose. It's been a lot of bang and a lot of bosh, but we're hoping to see a bit more creativity as the game moves on.
Epsom subs warming up in front of us with Matt Jackson, head of strength and conditioning there. He's trying to get them up to bodies up to temperature and muscles warmed up, ready to go.
And as you say that, the sun emerges. My two coats are starting to look stupid.
Off the top quickly, Max Franks to Tom. A slight light shot from one of the Whitgift boys on Tom there as he ducked in to make the pass. Box kick over the top from Max Franks. Aaron Smith-esque.
Number 2 blue.
Really proud of that little nudge over the top there.
Number 2 blue.
Hayden Reese there, just a little late on Tom Liner. Every hooker likes to make that shot though, don't they? Tom won't mind as well. He got the ball away.
Get a piece of him.
He knows if he's getting hit late, he must be making space elsewhere, as every good fly half does.
There we go, on you. Option 22
Just
drop
a touch long.
Which is a free
I think he's trying to squeeze every inch out of that.
Well, we've seen a lot of that at the top end of the game as well of late. Is the
Island game.
people are being really encouraged to go for it, and if you miss 1 in 10, well, you miss 1 in 10, because the 9 out of 10 that you stick right in the corner really count.
And well, when you hit it there, the roof really does come off when the spectators start screaming, and that's one thing we're missing today with the crowd from the Wellington game last year. The entire school being out and the boys running through the tunnel was something that a lot of the boys have good memories of. So it'd be great when we can have spectators back
Well, it's something worth noting because I'm sure that there are probably people watching and listening to this who, might only have joined Epsom sort of in lockdown and won't have experienced an Epsom College touchline. I can tell you as an independent, I'll just pause there as an independent kind of observer, Epsom College have one of the best atmospheres around the touchline as half-time ticks over. They the hymn sheets are printed out in advance, and we get a huge noise as everyone goes chanting. It's one of the greats. So all of you that are watching and listening, and it's your early days at the school. You've got a lot to look forward to. I promise you, it's well worth coming along and watching the first team.
It's not their job.
Well, thank you, Angus. I think the one thing that we're all incredibly proud of is the support that we give each other in school here, and that to support the first team is a real special moment. But also when the girls' hockey's out and the netball and the cricket, the fields are full of the students really showing their support and respect for the players who are going out there and doing their stuff. One of my first memories was going to Allianz Park a couple of years ago when we made it through to the final of the Champions Cup and played Wellington out in the final of that competition, and to take the whole school out for the day was an incredible opportunity, and one that a lot of these boys have told me was one of their first memories or finest memories of Epsom rugby. Not just necessarily playing in that, because those boys have moved on now, the likes of Lennon Day and Jack Jesty. But these boys were there witnessing that and maybe inspiring them to continue playing and keep going, representing and keep working on their skills and physical shape.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are the moments that make schoolboy rugby so special. Just to sort of round things off, it's 0-0 here at half-time, sadly, but we're hoping for plenty of tries in the second half. Sort of update from the ref at half-time as well that we've just heard. Just a little word in the ear of the captains about the physicality. We've had a few too many creeping high tackles, couple of late tackles. Nothing malicious. I think the reality is this is just a bunch of boys who've not played in 420 odd days. They're going to be hitting hard. They're going to be a bit over the top at times, but I think generally speaking, it's been very disciplined, been very impressive. And a far better game than 0-0 suggests. I promise you that.
Yeah, the Whitgift rounded off the half there with a really high tempo attacking opportunity into the corner. It's a shame that they just ran out a little bit of space there, but good news for Epsom, obviously. The defence put a bit of pressure on and forced them to creep towards the touchline.
We're going to have an interesting dynamic in this second half with Epsom playing down the hill now, which should be a bit of an advantage. But for the first time all afternoon, or all evening, I should say, the sun has popped out, and they're gonna have the sun in their eyes every time Whitgift pop the ball up. So the advantage they thought they were going to get has perhaps disappeared, because for the first time we actually have decent weather.
Beautiful conditions now this evening, and I'm sure the guys will pan across the fields and fill some of this time, but to see the Epsom grounds in this light is really shows off some of our finest features.
Worth mentioning today again, because I'm very conscious of the fact that we'll have a lot of people watching who probably aren't that familiar with how things work in normal times. We're not actually on the first team pitch today because cricket are over towards the first team pitch this term, what with this being this summer term. So we're across on a different field, so it's a completely different setting to what we're used to. We're used to that sort of amphitheatre with the big hill at one end, and we've got the sports hall to one side as well. So it really feels like you're sort of almost in a stadium type feeling when it gets full. Much more open space here, but of course with no spectators, I suppose that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, our first team rugby pitch, well maintained by our our superb grounds team. We've name checked them already, and they turn that over into football, 2 football pitches during the Lent term, and then it turns into a wonderful one day style, one day-esque cricket wicket for sort of under 15s, under 14s matches in the summer term. And I remember Tom Liner hitting a big bomb 6 on that wicket actually a couple of years ago, and taking out one of the air conditioning units from having hit it so far. And that just shows the talent that young man has. And he's a triple colours honour. So first represented first team cricket, first team football, first team rugby, and it'll be exciting to see how he goes in the second half.
Some people just get at everything, aren't they? It's just not right. We might as well through this half-time period while we wait for things to kick off. Just have a little chat about a couple of players that have stood out to me in this first half, as we're actually about to start the second half. But Cade Bird at number 8, I've been really impressed with him, carrying a lot. He's spilled a couple because of the greasy ball, but always fronting up, puts his hand straight up after a mistake and says, give it to me again, let me have a run. Seems like a big carry and a sort of big personality within the squad.
Cade's joined us, as I said earlier, in Lower 6, part of London Irish Academy, and he really wants to, I think, prove something to the boys today. He trains very, very well. He trains very effectively, and really picks up the intensity of training sessions, challenges some of the other boys, sets the standard. And he was itching to go this morning when I was teaching him about ethics and deviance in sport this morning in A-level P. All he could talk about was being ready for the game. So yeah, it's been nice to see him have a run out in the Epsom shirt.
Another player, just as we are literally about to kick off, another player that's really impressed me, alongside him in the back row, Jude Clark at open side. Proper open side by the looks of things to me. He keeps getting himself over the ball, always in the thick of things, sort of slightly smaller, but
low centre of gravity.
Do not tell him by the looks of things that he's slightly smaller. He's a real nugget.
Jude models himself very much on Michael Hooper, and he said that his exceptional body height, body shape in the rucks can create those turnovers. So yeah, looking to see Jude get a few turnovers if we can in the second half, get the ball in hand and really run into the Whitgift boys as we run down the hill towards the sun.
Yeah, he seems to have a real enthusiasm for work, enthusiasm to get after the ball. We just saw him there leading the line speed there, almost flying out ahead of everyone because he's so keen to get them all to follow.
Can energise a bunny. Good double shot there by Epsom. Ball's just popped out from the Whitgift boys on the floor. Hand off from the Whitgift 8, carrying the ball well. Good shot there from Tarek Alakan's brother of McKean Alakan, who's signed with Harlequins for this year. So again, we've got some good rugby family pedigree coming through.
Yeah,
I remember his brothers having some absolute stormers. I was on a touchline. Couldn't tell you which touchline, but I remember being on a touchline and about 15 different agents came up to me and said, "Can you tell me a bit about him? He seems pretty good."
Macca was a player that really wore his heart on the sleeve, and Tom's just missed touch there again. Just ball's just slid out off his foot slightly.
Excellent footwork there from the Whitgift sub.
Little knock on from Tom there. He's just
well, that's what we were talking about, the poison chalice of this sun. That was to be honest, that was a fantastic box kick. The sheer height it got on it, and it dropped right in the perfect zone. But with the sun coming up against you, it's a difficult one to take.
Epsom dominant in the tackle there. Zach O'Connor, Ollie Matthews, and Ross Hurtle helping each other out to drive the Whitgift number 8 back.
Be note to self: do not run at the Epsom College front row.
Ross just got his head on the wrong side of the tackle there. Ross joined us from Wimbledon College in lower six last year, so and again debut for the first team today. So he's itching to put in a good performance to show Paul Burke how to put his trust in him to represent the college at second row today.
Number 8, sub for blood, please.
Blood substitution. Blood.
He got tackled there, no, and then came down and hit the deck. All right.
Yeah, Reece Norman just getting a knock on the nose there, a bit of blood coming out. I don't think he was aware of it. I think he thought he was being penalised, but he's not. He's just been told to go and clean himself up.
Free kick for a scrum. It was going to be their ball. It's going to be a scrum free kick. I've just asked them to make a sub for blood. So fellas, we're restarting with what would be a scrum. So it'll be a scrum free kick from here to them. They were in possession of the ball.
On the subject of
I want to see the ball first, not the deck and then the ball. That's going to be the first thing.
One of our stalwarts of Epsom College Rugby's our physiotherapist, Mr. Chris Keevil, who is just walking in front of us with his blue gloves on and his cap.
A legend of the touchlines. Never has anyone passed an Epsom College game and not seen him there.
Correct. Jamie York trying to create a bit of a nuisance at the breakdown. Just got his timing just wrong, just to grab the ball there, but got his body shape right to get back in the game. Whitgift building a little bit of pressure and possession up here.
Hands away, Ruck!
Short nudge through from Ed Volley, and that's a really good touch finder, and able to put Epsom back into the 22.
If I were to cast an eye over how I might attack against this Epsom defence, with two in the backfield split quite wide, the chip over the top, just a little dink from either the scrum half or the fly half, might be where you would find a bit of joy if you were wanting to attack against this Epsom defence, I think.
With the chase that Whitgift are putting on, it's an effective way for them to gain momentum.
Well, as with any defensive system, isn't it? To fill a space somewhere, you have to leave another space somewhere. It's all about navigating the risk of where you leave that space.
Block formed. I'm calling leave at 24.
Crossing or obstruction there from the referee. Tom's grabbed the ball and he's taken it upon himself to nudge it down to the 22 from inside Epsom's 22. So that's a nifty kick.
Kicks like that are the reason why you forgive the odd one that just strays a little too far, because that was ridiculous. That's 22 to 22, almost dead on.
No, now when you're chasing
and he took it on the rush because he saw that there was space. He could afford a margin of error.
Gave himself the angle and ran through it. So nice bit of technique for everybody watching, all the Epsom boys watching on video for practicing that one in the garden. Not in the house though. Don't do it in the house. All of the house-masters will be telling us off.
We've all been there.
Ball off the top, Cade Bird running hard, and we've just had it again. Bryn Bradley's just overrun it slightly. Whitgift quickly away. Offlane, and there's a danger man.
Not held! Hands away! Release!
Zach O'Connor's trying to hit on the ball there, so effective tackle technique from Zach, trying to make the double tackle work. Interestingly, obviously, no mauls in the game today with our adapted rules. So trying to hit on the ball and trying to strip it quickly would be an effective way. But if we hold it up, then a free kick would be given. Nice kick over the top by Max Franks. Just got the fullback to turn. That was a lovely distance on the ball there. Ed Volley's done well. With the return, now we've got Henry Dalton. See what he can do. First team footballer, first team cricketer. ball just dropped outside the 22. That's a sensational up and under, Gary Owen.
It was a brilliant kick from Ed Volley to start off with, and then Dalton sort of sees that and raises it, and a brilliant chase as well. You know, part of the reason for that spill is the energy in his chase to go and follow up his own kick. Yeah, that's a 60-meter sprint, and it's been rewarded.
Hold it 9. On you, that's lovely. Everybody with you.
Just reflecting, obviously, with these periods of lockdown that we've had, and the boys hopefully work. Well, we know that they've been working on skills away from school and in school. The quality of catch pass and those more isolated skills is pretty high at the minute.
Hit him down safely.
Yeah, I guess it's the one thing people have been able to work on, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's a superb offload from Bradley. That's Ross Hurtle's I think that's Ross carried it. Ollie Matthews again getting it into the mix.
Advantage.
Max Frank's going to try and keep the tempo high here.
Not rolling away.
Catch pass, Tom Liner with the ball, trying to replicate what he did against Wellington last year, where he just ghosted through a couple of tackles to put the ball down, but just held short by covering tackle there from the half-back pairing from Whitgift.
Just a bit unfortunate there. There were players wrapping around the corner, and if they'd wrapped just a bit quicker, they'd have drawn the defenders wider, and that space would have been there. But as it was, there wasn't quite either option available. So in the end, Liner had to go for it. Had the defenders been forced to drift just a bit, I reckon he was through there, and we would have seen a lovely bit of skill. Good pressure this from Epsom though. First real sustained period for quite a while from either side really. It's been a lot of sort of round about the 22s, but here we are camped on the 5-meter line.
Yep.
And for the first time today, cramp. It was only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
Guys, it's just cramp.
Here goes Mr. Keeble. Or maybe not. He's been withdrawn.
Number 4, not rolling away.
Boys just stretch each other off and back to it. Cade fixes a man, gives it. Tarek works hard, driving at the Whitgift defence, and it's a turnover from Whitgift.
Once again, Whitgift on the floor. It's been a feature throughout the game. Whitgift, every time Epsom have got any sort of sustained pressure, Whitgift have managed to pull the turnover, and it's heightened a few tensions here, unsurprisingly. A lot of pent-up emotion over the last year or so, but that's been a real key theme of the game, is that work on the deck from Whitgift.
Behind the try line, blue, behind the 22.
It's a sensational accuracy in that turnover to win the penalty. And yeah, emotions just, the boys getting a bit excited there, and the two captains have a little chat with the referee.
That doesn't look like it. Okay, I need you to get number 24 over here.
A couple of Whitgift boys down with cramp as well now, so we might see this in the next couple of minutes or so. Hence why we've got 23, 24 boys in the squad.
Makes me feel a lot better about. I pulled my calf the other week going for a run. Makes me feel much better about that.
We've got Henry Lyes, number 19, coming on for his debut for Epsom Crow's first team. Henry joined us in M4 from Aberdour School, and favourite position is a flanker, but he's going to be coming on in the second row today. And yeah, I know Henry. He's going to give it his all. He's very excited this morning again.
Rightly so. I mean, it's tough. I mean, imagine making your debut in near enough May. It's almost unimaginable. But congratulations to him. Well deserved, and I hope he enjoys this run out.
Remember to tap it if you're going to kick it out.
And as Paul Burke said the other day, you never forget your first time you put on that shirt. So you boys today having that opportunity. Tom with the up and under. That's the spiral bomb.
Knocked on already.
Spiral bomb's just dropped short of the 22. That's technique on that,
Down. You've clearly knocked that before contact's made. It's going to be a scrum free kick.
pinpoint accuracy to be just outside the 22. George Ford would have been proud of that one, I think.
Oh, it's outstanding. You can see how difficult that is to take in the air. It's knocked on by volley in the air, and you really can't blame him. There's perhaps an argument that Tom might have caught him in the air there, but I think they were all falling over as it was anyway.
Yep. Just pop back inside to Ollie. Matthews is carried, present. We've got a quick play here, and if we can, Whitgift just short. Oh. Everyone just stopped for a moment when the ball went down. Looks like Max Franks is just going to pop the ball up and see how the fullback deals with this one. Just got his position slightly wrong. Bryn's going to work hard to keep hold of this, and if you can present the ball, then we might have a bit of tempo here.
What a well-judged box kick from Max Frank. Couldn't have guided that any better, could he?
Accuracy of that skill was very impressive.
No advantage out there. Come back for knock-on advantage.
The amazing thing is, you don't have to cycle back very far in sort of schoolboy rugby history when the idea of a box kick would have been a thing that would never have happened anyway. And yeah, there's a lot of negatives about it in the top end of the game, but we've probably only seen sort of 3 or 4 here today, and 2 of them have been about as good as you could possibly see anywhere at any level. That was just outstanding accuracy to drop that just inside.
And just working with Paul Burke on kicking, you know, he's a master of kicking. So the boys on the technical detail on that they get from his coaching is impressive. Louis Russell on the ball there. Just as Tom travels across the pitch, trying to get the guys going forward in attack, just into the Whitgift's 10-metre.
Playing advantage to blue.
Counter ruck from Whitgift is outstanding there.
Number 19 side entry.
Well, I think what we're seeing today is 2 teams with very clear strengths in different areas. Whitgift, obviously, at the breakdown, are incredibly adept, and even when they have possession, they want to keep it tight and they want to play that power game in and around that breakdown. Epsom, in contrast, want to use their forwards slightly further out, want to get them involved in the game in a more sort of dynamic way out wide. We're seeing them looking to attack from deep, looking probably to play with a bit more ambition. But just sometimes that means that when they get out wide, that powerful Whitgift breakdown just has the option to be able to come in and attack. It's a really interesting balance between the 2.
Because you've seen a lot of schoolboy rugby, and you've seen a lot of Epsom sides. I think you can say quite quickly the characteristic of Paul Burke's first team when he has the boys out, that they play fast and free and try to get the ball moving touchline to touchline if they can.
Yeah, fast touchline to touchline and try and get a back row forward out wide.
Big collision there from Duke Clark. He's definitely wants his name seen and heard today.
Backwards.
Whitgift carrying it well into contact there. Epsom again, double, triple tackle from the boys. Bryn, Ollie,
secondary tackler, you come in high.
And Henry Lyes working well together.
Fine, then you came in high. Number 12.
Penalty to Whitgift, though. Just looked like one of the lads, just the arm slid up just as they'd gone in for that shot.
Okay, the T is coming on. That means it's a shot at goal.
So it's a shame we haven't actually been able to see Josh King with the ball yet, and he's stood here on the wing, number 14. Josh is a very athletic young man. He joined us in year 9 from Danes Hill School. He represented Surrey in athletics in year 9 for the triple jump and hurdles. So he's a very exciting athletic talent, and we hope to hit him with the ball in space and see how he can attack the Whitgift wingers and fullbacks here.
It's been a bit unfortunate. The attacking play seems to have all gone down the left-hand channel in the main. Whitgift here with a chance to get the scoreboard ticking over. We have our first points of the day. Whitgift 3, Epsom 0.
That'd be nice. There's now a sign of a bit of resilience, determination for the boys to be 3 points down. Lots of time left, which is good to see, and see how the boys bounce back from that penalty shot.
Jamie Flatley there with the long-range penalty for Whitgift, the outside centre. Possible relation of Michael. His opposite number, actually, outside centre for Epsom College, Josh Lyon. Quiet first half, but I've already spotted a couple of times the second half really starting to come into the game, trying to force the tempo a little bit as he gets the ball, looking to get on the outside shoulder and put those back three players away. Just been a bit unfortunate that there's not been enough play coming out wide.
Josh is part of our Harlequins academy as well. He's joined us in lower six this year. He went to Downs End School, which is just down the road, and then to City of London Freeman School, which is also just down the road, and just joined us in lower six. But him and Bryn make an exciting partnership in the centres, and I think the more that they play with each other, the more interesting that could get. That's a lovely little dink over the top.
Hints of George North and Jonathan Davies as a partnership.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Josh has got great feet. Suffered a little bit of an ankle injury earlier in the season, but he's got himself right with the help of Mr. Keevil and Matt Jackson. He's been working a lot with Simon Watling, who's our Assistant Director of Rugby, who represented London Welsh and Worcester and Cornish Pirates. So Simon's been working on his catch pass and trying to free his hands up a little bit. So over the next, year and a bit, it's going to be quite exciting to see what happens.
Really exciting. I mean, we're already seeing the sheets of some of that. I could see there was an attacking shape taking place earlier on down the right-hand side. You can see him really looking for the space to put people away. A bit unfortunate that the move broke down. Tom Liner here with a chance to even the game up. Never in doubt. 3 apiece, and we're
normal service resumes.
Water break now, as we had in the first half, halfway through. Just a couple of minutes to let the players refresh. Obviously, this is summer rugby, something that anyone that has followed us on Twitter will know I'm a big advocate of. But it does necessitate a water break, and it has been a long time since these boys last played. So we finally had a score, 3-3.
Thriller at Epsom.
If it was a football match, we'd be loving it.
We had a few substitutions, rotations, replacements. So I think once the boys come back from the water break, probably a good idea to just run through the sides again, just so that we can
absolutely
check those game changers, as Harlequins would advocate.
Game changers, finishers, matchmakers. I saw somewhere. Didn't realise they came to rugby games, but
see.
But it's starting to loosen up a bit as a game. I think we've seen things start to move a bit wider. We've seen players starting to have a go. Obviously, players are going to start getting tired, even as the subs come on. Things will get disjointed. Still plenty of time for these teams to show a bit of their attacking flair, and we do have to remember that. Not all about tries. Been many's a good 3-3, 6-6. As a Scotland supporter, I can tell you a 9-6 win is a 9-6 win. No one ever asks you by how much if you're winning. Not that that's what we're all here for. It's worth this. Just having a look. We haven't given much mention of the Epsom College second row, and I suppose it's because the line-out is so weird at the moment with no mauls. We sort of just
no scrums to see them in the engine room.
Catch it and move on. It's a sort of it's a weird time to be a second row, but Ross Thurtle and Nikolai Marinov there in the second row.
Yeah, both passionate young men, and Nikolai's just walking off to the left-hand side. Actually, he's got the subs.
One of the victims of cramp, I think.
Yeah, one of the victims of cramp. But yeah, he would have given his all out there if he could have done, and represented Surrey under 16s. That's Nikolai. Didn't play rugby very much, and hadn't had an experience of rugby before he came to Epsom. So to now that being within the first team squad is a really good achievement for him.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, and again, really part of what schoolboy rugby is all about.
It's a good kick-off from Whitgift. It's a high kick-off to the 22, and then Kate Bird underneath the ball, and there's a good heavy contact on him as he's presented the ball. So he's got a bit of cramp in his palm.
Stop! Outside white 13, stop!
Knock on there by Whitgift, but it looks like we've got an offside from Epsom.
Well, I hate to be the guy that keeps banging on about box kicks, but that was another brilliant box kick. Two fly halves go up for it. Anyone's ball falls down on Epsom's side, and then sadly on the cross field, just offside. Bit of over eagerness. Will Whitgift go for the long range three, or will they pump it into the corner and aim for the try? I suppose the trouble with no mauls at the line out is you're really setting your stall out as to what your move is going to be off it. It's on a generalised level, you really have two options: send a big runner down the middle, or fling it wide early doors. We can get intricate about how you do that, but fundamentally, there's two options.
Now, interesting, we've got Marcus Hanley coming onto the pitch, so number 18 in the red scrum hat. Marcus actually joined Epsom this year from Whitgift, so he's out there with playing against a few of his mates, which is quite nice to see. And that's what rugby's all about.
Who's going to put a big shot in first? That's the question there.
Marcus he's a keen weightlifter actually, and over lockdown has built his own gym and working really hard at home to try and get himself as fit as he possibly can do. And, he's going to go and try and chase that ball.
Knock on, scrum free kick.
Terrier.
Does he train others? Because I could do with a gym session or two.
With him. Keep going. Here we go. Scrum free kick.
Close to getting some qualifying lifts for Team G, or the British gym weightlifting. So be interesting to see how he gets on. He's trying to over commit on that tackle there. He's out there to make a point.
Never have I seen a kick chase so hard.
Knock on advantage.
Almost stolen there, and that looks like Luke Marsh, number 20. So Luke, again, coming on for his first team debut, one of my A-level PE students. He's avid fan of rugby. He's a level 2 referee as well. So Luke is a stalwart of Epsom College rugby.
Knows his way around a breakdown then if he... It is worth reiterating, there are guys out here making their first team debuts on the 30th of April 2021. It's almost staggering, but we really do have to take our hats off to them. I'll take our hats off to them. It's been a hell of a year. I mean, it's been tough for everyone, but I imagine as schoolboys, tougher than most. You know, forget rugby, but exams, the whole lot. It's been a torrid time for these lads. It's just so impressive to see them.
To balance assessments, to balance other commitments with other sports, musicals. We've just finished our Les Miserables production this week, so some of the guys have been involved with that and filming of that. That turned into a concert version due to COVID protocols. You know, we've had debating societies. We've got over 124 different activities that take place during a week here at Epsom, and the guys get free choice of that. Really, a lot of these guys will be in the gym and working in little skill clinics as well during the week. But the breadth of opportunity here and the commitment that the guys show to outside of rugby is exceptional. So
Whitgift here just lining up penalty to potentially go 6-3 ahead. And once again, Jamie Flatley has slotted that through the middle to give Whitgift a 6-3 lead with roughly 10 minutes left on the clock. But I do just want to finish that off and sort of really, to both sides, give a real hat tip on making it this far, to be honest. It's not been an easy year for anyone, and to all the parents listening in, I mean, I sympathise, empathise with what you've been through as well. I'm sure some of those homeschooling times were interesting, to say the least. But well done, everyone. Keep it up.
Will Butt on the left wing now, so number 21 on his shirt, so putting pressure on the chase there from the kickoff. Will's utility back. He's in Robinson House, so all the Robinson boys hopefully cheering for Will now.
There we go. Thank you.
His favourite or most memorable time with Epsom is beating Brighton College in the last play of the game during our Colt season a couple of years ago. So hopefully he's able to get out there and make an impact.
A game that went down in legend, from what I know.
Josh Lyon carrying hard there. Get to an edge. Bryn Bradley again. Always got a little bit of momentum here. Tom trying to marshal the lads around the corner. Works hard, presents on the floor. Whitgift looked to put pressure on with a blitz defence.
Stay on side, Blue.
Bryn will look to carry here. Double shot from Whitgift.
Roll, tackle, roll! Advantage, not rolling 10.
It's a penalty advantage to Epsom going off for Whitgift going off the feet there at the ruck. And Josh has got looks like a 2-on-1 with Leo Hales, who's on at fullback. Lower 6 player Leo, representing Forest House. Those guys in the boarding house in Forest will now be having pizza and watching the game this evening. It's a great line from Jude Clark there. Ollie Matthews picks up.
I am unbelievably impressed by Jude Clark today.
Pick up by Luke Marsh, 1-on-1. Dancing feet around the corner.
Hands away!
Jason Robinson is his idol as well, so again, a few Epsom College boys hopefully trying to use the feet, replicate the legend that is Jason Robinson. Bryn tries to muscle his way over.
Leave it there. Stay there, stay there.
The Whitgift boys just a little bit shortened up on that. Oh, and it's a penalty.
Looks like Whitgift just straight offside, but I have to say the noise coming from the Whitgift defence is extraordinary. It's aggressive. It's in the faces of Epsom, and it's causing problems. They've strayed offside there through over-enthusiasm, but it is fantastic defence. Lyon now just weighing up whether to go for the post or whether to go for something more with 8 minutes left on the clock, I think I heard the referee say there. Yeah, and they're going for the attacking play.
Yeah, Paul Burke will like this. Boys made his decision. Max Frank's got his hands on the ball and opportunity to have a starter play here if we can. Ollie Matthews at the centre of that. Hesitated slightly just before contact came to.
Timing just off there. That's the.
Tackled, knee on the ground, gotta let go of the ball.
It's a tough one for the Epsom boys there, but that's a year without playing that. That was just timing and a little bit of lack of communication, just letting them down on the execution there. Near enough 8 minutes left to play though. There is still everything to play for in this game.
Yes, this is the penalty. Penalty not releasing number 10. Hang on there. Thank you. Free ball. Here you go, fella. That's you. Blue, have we called numbers? We told them. He's on his mark.
Zach O'Connor just coming off.
Zach O'Connor's
Saw him
off.
put in some
Yeah.
huge hits today. Outstanding play from the young man.
Zach giving us his stats: 6'3", 120 kilos. Not far, possibly not far off that.
Might be one of the few that's
trying
not lying.
Try to put that into all of his hits, all of his shots today. Whitgift slightly awry with the throw in there from the line out.
Worth noting again, we mentioned it briefly with the second rows about it being a bit of a funny game for them. It's a funny game to be a prop in as well, where your sort of bread and butter set piece just doesn't happen. So you're very much more involved in the loose than you might otherwise be.
Ollie Matthews again just runs straight at the heart of the defence. Bryn Bradley at full flight now. Offloading out the tackle. Whitgift getting a hand in there. Accuracy of that turnover is outstanding.
Number 7.
Like
The story of the game, isn't it? It's Whitgift on the deck.
5 minutes.
Absolute heroics on the floor. First we've seen of Bryn Bradley in full flight though today, and absolutely galloping away with those with that stride length of his, and then getting the offload out. But once again, Whitgift on the floor.
Just details.
Got
two new players joining us. So we've got Elia Denergy with number 16 on the back of his shirt. So he's coming to the front row. Elia was our head of school for Lent term. So the boys out there, huge respect for him, and he's hopefully gonna replace Zach O'Connor, and hopefully going to continue the good work that Zach was doing. And we've also got George Morley, who's come on with his as a lower six to make his debut for the first team again. Nice work from the boys. Good angle from Whitgift running off the fly half.
Hands away now, knock on advantage.
Turnover from Leo Hales, going into a great shape on the floor there, and then Will Butt grabbed the ball off him and looked to attack. We've got a little bit of a knock on from Whitgift, so Epsom free kick.
The Energizer Bunny, Jude Clark, has come off, much to my disgust. I've been enjoying watching
Put
him.
him in charge. Jude was saying to me earlier on today that his aim is to go out, give it a good performance and come off without any injuries. So, job done, but I think he's done more than that.
He's certainly done that and more. He's still got energy to burn on the touchline. I've never seen a man pace so much.
One of the most competitive people we'll ever meet.
In the midst of all that, another penalty to Whitgift.
He'll get this, it's centre post.
We've got Jamie Flatley once again lining it up. Again from long range, looking to put them 9-3 ahead.
Jamie Flatley is again another young school boy. Got a great future ahead of him. Played within or part of Harlequin's Academy's programme since under 13, and I've had the pleasure of coaching him as from under 13 up to under 16. So he's again an exciting prospect for the future.
Lines up this kick from 10-metre line. Third such kick. Just snatches at that as it drifts left. 3 points in it. A little under 2 minutes left to play. Still anyone's game.
Behind the kick, fellas. Come.
Both of these sides, of course, semi-finalists in the last full season. Whitgift in the Schools Cup actually reached the final, but the final, of course, they never played. Epsom in the Champions Trophy. Knocked on there by Whitgift. An Epsom chance with the free kick. It's now or never for them.
Number 1, give me 2 big steps backwards. Get everybody with you.
Referee measuring out a very full 10 yards to keep Whitgift back. This is a big opportunity for Epsom College now.
Two big ball carriers, Cade Bird and Ollie Matthews, working together there. Ball out the back to Tom Liner. Short part round the corner. Bryn Bradley at pace. Will Butt move the ball out to Luke Marsh. Luke Marsh with quick feet on the outside and has just made a tackle. Put into touch by Whitgift there.
Back off, back off, back off!
excitement
Marsh
from the boys.
nudged into touch at the end there, but with the time left on the clock, you'd have to fancy that Whitgift are going to think of the resulting line out. They're going to have to kick it long. There's a bit of argy-bargy in the words of Bill McLaren, but if you're Epsom, you want this game to get started fast because you do not want that clock ticking past.
Fellas, just go behind the try line. Go behind the try line.
There's a difficult decision for Whitgift to make off this line out. First of all, Epsom need to compete. Then Whitgift have to decide with barely any time left on the clock. Do they kick it long and get away from their own try line, or do they back themselves to hold through a few phases and then finish the game off? It's going to be a tough decision. Ref just having a bit of a word with a couple of the subs after some excitement.
Fellas, when you're on the bench, you never come on the field. Okay?
It's quite nice work there around the corner from Will Butt and Luke Marsh linking up there. So they've done that throughout their time since year 9, and they've been working together in that year group with Tom Liner, and almost created an opportunity to put Luke Marsh into the corner. That would have been a story for the ages.
It's going to be a penalty to blue here. Retaliation.
Well, I tell you, there was a moment where it looked like it was going to happen, wasn't it? And then the space just seemed to close up around him, but got into touch before the clock ticked red. I think I just heard the referee say we have 45 seconds left to play.
9. Here we go, Felon. That's your mark. That's good then.
The referee has not given the line out. They're playing a tap, must have been a knock on.
Stay on side, White. That's it, last feet.
Looking to be clinical, accurate in the tackle zone here. George Morley with a shot, and Marcus Hanley trying to get his hands on the ball there, trying to cause a turnover or penalty even.
Stay back foot then. Hands away, White.
This is going to be the last ruck.
Time's up, 9. Time's up.
Ed Volley clears his lines. Whitgift take the victory, 6 points to 3. It wasn't a classic, but Whitgift won't mind. Epsom College have got plenty more games to come, and I have to say, there is a lot of potential in both of these sides. We didn't see the most exciting one today, but both teams have got a lot of potential.
Just the opportunity for us to get a competitive rugby match out at this time of year is a nice sight to see. That result not going Epsom's way, but there's a lot of positives there and a lot of memories I think made this evening, and I think the boys will look back upon this in next week or a few weeks time, or even a few years time, and
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
decision to take the penalty kick or not, you know, that's always one that everybody likes to have a chat about and debate, but and I think that's something that could be discussed in the team meetings over the next week. But I even remember the England-Wales one back in the World Cup match a few years ago at Twickenham.
Old Chris Robshaw didn't know he was going to get dragged down again today. No, I have to say, both
not on the same level of game.
The reality is, today, neither team's going to come away from this worrying too much about what the outcome was. This game was all about the joy of finally being able to step out, get onto the rugby field and actually play a game. It's been 420 long days, and finally we've had a game. It wasn't a thriller, but it was a game, and that's all we care about. So that's today. Whitgift 6, Epsom College 3. A close, niggly game of rugby, but a game of rugby. That's the most important thing when all is said and done. Alex, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
And from me, all that's left to say is goodbye, and can't wait to see you next time. We'll be showing Epsom versus Hampton in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much for watching.